Hey FlossTube, it's librarian stitcher lady here, Jess. It is St. Patrick's Day, and I just wanted to say happy St. Patrick's Day and to give you an update on all the stitchy things in my life. I haven't been stitching, well I have, but I've been quilting and making other things this whole time. So it's been a very busy week, and a lot of things have arrived in the mail that I wanted to share with you. So it's been very awesome time. I am wearing green. I don't know if I can get my leg up high enough. My leggings are like a green and black. So I know it doesn't look very festive right here, but I hope everybody else is wearing green. Technically I'm always wearing green right here. So, you know, it works out. St. Patrick's Day is a favorite of my husband's. Up until probably 10 years ago, he went out all the time. Now, he and I are not the same type of people that enjoy the nightlife. He loves going out and hanging with friends at a bar, celebrating St. Patrick's Day. I am a person who likes to stay home. I actually worked in a bar a long time ago, and it was the perfect bar because it was a little pub on base. We lived on a British base, not an American base in Britain, but a British base, and they had a family club. And that, even when it was its busiest, was my favorite place because it was a type of place where you could sit and have a drink with friends. You could still hear yourself think. I loved working on the weekends when football would be on the TV, and was it Sunday when the 5th Harry Potter book came out? I remember because my husband bought it for me at a gas station there. So it's my only British copy of the series. And I remember sitting at one of the tables at the bar, and they were all watching football, soccer on the TV. And I didn't have to do much except just keep an eye on them. I'd occasionally pour them a drink and then go back to my reading. I do know that one of the ladies there spoiled the who died in that book to me, and I still kind of rage about it inside because she was flipping through the book when I was pouring a beer, and she goes, "Who's Sirius?" And I was like, "Oh, that's Harry's godfather. Why?" And she goes, "Oh, he's dead." And I was like, what did you just do? I was still in the beginning of the book, and I was so mad, so mad. But it was a great bar. That's the kind of bar I liked, but my husband liked clubs. He liked music. He liked dancing. He liked, you know, just all the loudness of it. And so he went out for St. Patrick's Day with his friends every year. And now, you know, we're getting older. That's not our scene anymore. It's not his scene anymore. So I make a nice corned beef and cabbage meal at home. I cook it with a beer. And then we're having cabbage and potatoes later. So that's all in the crock pot. It's all good to go. Yum, yum. I don't know if my son wore green to school. I doubt it. It's not his favorite color, and I don't think he owns any clothing in that color. My daughter, on the other hand, loves green. I mean, you saw her piece that she wants to make on here, which she started, by the way. I set it up for her, and she started. She's already frogged some of it out because she's working on the demon witch that's right in the middle, and she's all black. And so there are spaces you have to hop over and stuff, and it got to her one day. She did a whole big section. It was all wrong. So she ripped it all out. She found it. I'm trying not to get involved and let her, you know, make her own mistakes unless she asks. If she asks, I'll look at it, and it's still not as neat as I would have made it, but that's okay. She's 16 years old. She's learning still, and this is her first big project. So, you know what? I'm not going to discourage her at all. So I just wanted to go through a couple things. I wanted to show you my vintage handkerchiefs I got. I have a couple different things I'm going to do with them. A lot of them I'm going to stitch political sayings on. Dumb things our politicians say. Or inspirational things. Either one, it's going to work. And there's a project out there called tinypricks.com, and it is, you can send her the actual embroidered piece. She's making an art installation for it, but you can follow her on Instagram at tinypricksproject. And obviously it has a double meaning for the politicians and for embroidery, but they're embroidering sayings on there, and there's some really good ones that have popped up. Like I said, it's both inspirational and poking fun at the government in general, the stupid things politicians say. And it's, right now it is heavily leaning towards making fun of like the current administration, but it makes fun of a lot of others too. So it's not just one-sided. So if you would like to check that out, go check their Instagram, which is Tiny Pricks Project. But I want to show you my my handkerchiefs I found. I found them at the Annapolis Antique Mall. I found them at my local quilt shop because she's also an antique store. So she loves having textiles there. And this one's so pretty. I don't know what I'm gonna use for it. Definitely inspirational. Like maybe a quote from Malala or Amanda Gorman or something like that. It's very pretty. And I think it deserves a very pretty, happy quote kind of thing. So that's one of my favorites. Oh, my dog's looking outside like he's gonna bark at something. This one seems like a good one for my Jane Austen class, so I might use it as the example. My Jane Austen class, we're going to get handkerchiefs and embroider a simple beginning embroidery design on there, so maybe just some flowers on the corner kind of thing. This one looks fun. I think it's an F on the corners. I think that would be a good one for a political one, because it's not necessarily my style, but it's a nice vintage one. This one's pretty. Some nice flowers. I think this lends itself more to adding words instead of like any other use I could come up with. I love the ones that have this stuff on the edge. So very fun. What is that, like tatting or some crochet lace or something like that? I love that it's variegated. Most of these cost about $3 a piece. So I was just stockpiling and getting them so I could do what I want. This would be another good Jane Austen one since it's solid color, doesn't have anything on it. Another floral one, like that one before. And then this little thing, just a small thing. I think it would be good for a political saying again, because it's small and not much use otherwise. I don't know if a black thread would show up on this. It is pretty though. What is that, like a holiday one? So I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but it's pretty and we'll figure something out. This one I like because it's got ducks on it. I got this one at the quilt shop, I think. So that's fun. Oh, this is pretty. It's got all that in the corners. So lots to embroider. Another plain one. I got some at the EGA meeting this month. A woman brought in several of these on the swap table, and I thought that was perfect, especially these plain ones. Could use those for the Jane Austen class. So it's got a nice little decorative edge on it, and otherwise it's clear. The person who's wanting us to do the Jane Austen class wanted something that was reminiscent of older times, and I thought handkerchiefs would be great. It would be an easy medium to get a hold of, and very valid to back in the day kind of thing. And then here's another one I think would be good for a political statement in the middle. It's kind of a fun print. So I think what's fun about the political statements is that it's very contrasting to the handkerchiefs themselves. So I think that's why it's a good way to, I don't know, a good way to get it out of your system, to use art as a therapy. As we all know, art is very much a therapy, and that could help us. So, alrighty, what's next? I have tried my hand at making embroidery, or not embroidery, project bags. So I have a few here that I wanted to share. My first one is this one. As you can see, I've got stuff in it. Let me take out that stuff. I got the zipper from the, what the quilt shop calls the warehouse. The warehouse is her used area. She has pre-owned fabric and notions and stuff. So here's this. I found this pattern on Unfinished Stitches, which is a YouTube channel. And the fabric I absolutely love. I don't remember names of fabric or keep track of them. I'm sorry, my nose is really itchy. Sorry. I'm not really good at remembering where fabric comes from. And that includes cross-stitch fabric and quilting fabric and such. So I know what store I might have gotten it from, but other than that, I don't know. So this was my first attempt. I quilted the back, and I have a pretty thick pad in there that I got from the quilt store. Wasn't interfacing, it was a different type of interfacing. It didn't stick on at all, and it was just for like a batting. You use it when you make the little bin bowls and boxes and stuff like that too, to give it structure. So I was able to quilt it through the inner piece as well, and the outer piece. And then the zipper I just got for really cheap at the quilt shop in their used section, which was great. They had exactly the color I needed, and you know, the size that I needed. I was able to cut it down from the original. And then my only issue is I'm still working on the binding of things. This was my first attempt, and as you can see, it's pretty gnarly. I had to go over a section down at the bottom because the vinyl was popping out, so I didn't catch it. It's functional, and the pattern is super pretty, but the sewing quality is not there yet, but it was my first one. So of course I had to do it again. Let me put those patterns back. So right now it's housing my sampler of the month patterns from Country Cottage Needleworks. So I finished that January one. I have not started another one, but this is where I'm keeping all of them with the threads that were designated for it. My friend Sarah gave me all the patterns because she stitched all of these, and she gave me all her leftover thread. She's awesome like that. Alrighty, so I have, let me just throw that over there. I have my next ones I made. I went to a store called Crabby Quilts. It is a store in Annapolis. It was my first time there. I still prefer my quilt shop, which is here in Severna Park. But I had to go check it out. They have a lot more novelty fabric, you know, characters and things like that. So you're going to find some things that you might not find at my quilt shop. My quilt shop has got beautiful stuff. Like that bag was from fabric there. But I did find at Crabby Quilts books. And you know me, I'm a librarian. I have to have the books. So there's so many colors in this. It was hard to narrow down, but I did find a yellow. Now I forgot to quilt through onto this piece. So I was able to do the quilting on the back. You can see the lines, but I didn't have the yellow piece attached at the time. I forgot. I realize I'm pretty darn good at zippers. I only have a regular foot on my sewing machine. So the zippers are nice because the edge of the zipper can butt right up against the foot on the sewing machine. So it's very easy to go straight. So I'm finding that I do a good job on the zippers. But again, and this one I finally got the corners to be at an angle instead. But I still have issues. I mean, it goes weird. My fabric gets a little wonky at times, but it's functional. One of these book ones, I made 2 of them. One of them, this one, I had to go over again because I totally missed the vinyl on a whole side here and part of the bottom. But that's okay. The zippers, besides, so I only got one from before at the used area of the shop, but I was able to hit Joann's, and they had just marked down the zippers for, it was like 40%. So I got like 30 zippers in all different colors. So I should be set for a while. I even got some short ones, some 7-inch ones. I was going to try and make this on a smaller scale. As you can see, I forgot to quilt both of them. Yeah, yay me. But I made them a little bit bigger than the other one. Let me grab it. So you can see there's definitely a size difference. I like the bigger size. These are like 12 by 14s, I think. I like the bigger size because most of my stuff is bigger. So this is really nice. But I will make a few smaller ones in there. So the other day, I made one more, and it was funny how it came about. I have a class. Sorry, my nose is so itchy. Oh my goodness. And my cheeks are all rosy because perimenopause. This is how I get hot flashes. My face turns very pink. So if anybody else gets that, let me know, but I get flushed. So I had a class the other day, and it was from Heartstring Samplery, and it was sponsored by the Oatlands chapter of the EGA. So Oatlands is in Virginia, and they opened it up to area chapters and asked if anybody wanted to sign up. So I did, and it's for the semi-quincentennial. So 250 years of the United States. And let me show you the pattern, the front of it really quick. It's not released yet for Heartstring Samplery. It will be available next year. The 250th anniversary of our country is next year. So I thought this would be great to get ahead on this. As you can see, it's a spool. It has a quote from one of John Adams' letters to Abigail Adams. It's really, really cool. It's called Bonfires and Illuminations because that was mentioned. He was talking about how special July 2nd would be. And that it should be always remembered. Now, he signed the Declaration of Independence on July 2nd, so he thought that was going to be the day that they counted, but they didn't finish signing it until July 4th. So that's why July 4th is the anniversary and not July 2nd like he had thought. So this ends up being just over 2 yards long. And let me show you the fabric for this, by the way. So I coffee stained it. I can't get all the wrinkles out. I've ironed it. It's very coffee smelling. It's so funny. So I coffee stained it, put it in the oven, and it did kind of get a little edge on there before it totally dried, but that's okay. I'm happy with it. I really am. I know what side I'm gonna do. I haven't started it yet. This was on Saturday, and I wanted to prep my stuff first. But before the class, I was like, I need a project bag for this. I'm one of those people that needs to have a themed project bag to match what the thing is. So I actually cut enough for 2 project bags, but I've only stitched 1. And let me remove stuff out of the bag really quick. So I actually had this fabric in my stash. I have a ton of this blue, navy blue dot fabric and a ton of this American flag fabric. So I have no idea who it's from. I've had it for years. And I did have a zipper, and I have a red zipper on my other one that I was able to use from my Joann's haul. And I used the new vinyl, which is thinner than the others had. I also got vinyl at Joann's, big giant roll of it. So I can do vinyl for whatever I want. But I was able to quilt it. So I just did lines up and down, side to side. And my bindings are better. I still have some little, you know, issues here and there with the fabric buckling. But you know what? This, I would say, was the first real good one. Again, I do really well on the zippers. I seem to like, you know, have an easier time with that. I think a lot of this will get cleared up when I get a walking foot. I think that'll be better. And my regular needle is able to get through, you know, the vinyl and the padding at the same time. So I've not had any issues. I didn't know I should have something else on there. But yeah, I now have an Americana project bag that I made myself. So, which is super exciting because I love this. It's a compulsion I have to have matching bags. Does anybody here have to match their project bag to the type of project? I know some aren't going to be matchy because not everything has the perfect thing, but it's okay. So obviously I've got tons of this material. So I made thread beds. I haven't stitched on a snap yet. I have some old school metal snaps. And I have in here, let me put all this stuff back in the bag. Oh, the kit we had came with some ruched ribbon and a little button, like an Americana. It's got a Liberty Bell button on there. We're using Weeks Dye Works for our colors. And then the fabric it's like a border fabric, banner fabric from Welch It. I think it's like 32 count. And what's that? Oh, and it came with a spool, which I have next to my chair because it's pretty. So it should fit this, and it's an old spool. Has you can tell it's got the marks from being used and stuff. So that'll be really cool. But I made thread beds, and I have another thread bed here. I have another 2. So I'm trying to make them each time I make a bag, but I did make this one, my first one, separate from any bag I was making because I have crib bumpers that a friend made for my daughter's crib when she was born. And the fabric is just, you know, rectangular panels. So I cut some off of that, and I used the binding technique that I learned on the bags and just folded it over. So it was like 1 inch all the way around, folded over. And then I sewed these old school snaps on. I didn't want to buy the plastic snaps online because there's like 500 in an order. And that's just a lot. And I might, but right now this is going to be good. Maybe I'll find some Velcro and do that instead. I don't know. But this is just a simple piece of felt that I have. One thing as a children's librarian, I have felt. I have lots and lots of felt. So yeah, I just cut piece in half and cut my fabric, and that was easy. So I have a thread bed. And then I also have, I have these little scraps of vinyl left from when I made the bags. So when I made the Americana one, I got creative. I'm gonna use a pair of pinking shears on here to cut that shorter. But so it's flannel, it's the felt again, but I made myself a pocket. So I did the same thing that I do for the bags, except I fold it over and fold it again, so that way all the raw edges are on the very inside, so you can't see. So you like take a piece, fold it this way, and then fold it again, you know, lengthwise. And sewed it onto this piece that was exactly the size, width of the felt, and then I just folded over the edges on the back piece and inserted that. So I haven't been putting a line down there, because once I put the snap on, it's not going to matter. I'm afraid of sewing a line in there and it not being in the middle, because I might have, you know, measured wrong. That's always my fear. So cute little thread bed. And I have another one. I have some catching up to do on snaps. So I made this one for that first bag I did, and I have a second one. This is the one I'm actually using. So it's got my needle already ready to go. It's got the current color that I'm using tucked in there. So I'm all set on my project. So very excited. There's the pattern. Put that all away. Alrighty. So this one makes me really happy. I just posted about it on my Instagram the other day. So yeah, I'm getting better at them. So that makes me extremely happy. All right. So before I learned to do that, I bought a bunch as well. So I think I have all of them, and I think something came in the mail today. So let me see. Oh, one thing that came in the mail was my Needle Arts magazine from the EGA. So when you're a member of the Embroidery Guild of America, you get a magazine. I'm kind of hoping they go digital with it, because I don't want to have to save these. But there are really cool articles about needlework in here. Talking about what the region's been doing, like the Great Lakes region. I'm in the Mid-Atlantic region. So they highlight different stuff. Oh, Oatlands is in here. So Oatlands is who I'm taking the class through. Oh, we got mentioned too. Oh, we're the Constellation chapter. It says a great time at the Great Frederick Fair. So it shows about, oh, it shows Susie and Catherine. I know those people. So it has an article where it shows, you know, my friends in there, because they go and they set up a booth and they show off their stitching at the fair, and they stitch and people can talk to them and that sort of thing. So that's really special that we're in there. And did they do any others for the Mid-Atlantic? They got anniversaries. No. There's just some other places showing off their stuff. So that's cool. But if you join the EGA, you'll get one of these magazines. So that's fun. Okay, so project bags that I have purchased. I got one for St. Patrick's Day. I have two St. Patrick's Day projects in here that I am nowhere near being done because quilting has sidetracked me. So nice polka dot and that, and I got that from, I think, Catherine Maples. I'd have to look on there. I will put the links to who I got project bags from in the description below. So yes, that one, I love that one. Again, I like themed ones, and St. Patrick's Day is one of my themes I like to do. I got two quilted ones that are Jane Austen. So this is from Sherry So Sweet. And this one is a nice patchwork one. From the fabric line, I think, is from Riley Blake. She did a Jane Austen-esque one. Excuse me. And you see the solid pattern on the back. You can tell, you know, like, it's very Jane Austen-like. The different houses and stuff. So, love that. And then I have another one that's just that fabric. And I like it anyway because it's cross stitch. That's all it is on there, is like cross stitch patterns and samplers. And I love that. So those came from Sherry So Sweet. And what do I got in here? So one of them, oh, my booklet. One of them, oh, my project I'm doing right now. I'm sorry I'm scattered. That's just how today is. So I had to take the dog to the vet. He's got an ear infection with bacteria and yeast. And last night it was bleeding like crazy on the edges of his ears. And I was going nuts because he wouldn't stop flapping. I had one of my really long headbands around his head, and he slept with his donut on, which is like a nicer version of the cone. Not as effective when they're determined though. And I made him sleep in his cage because he's less likely to flap his head around in his cage. So he kept doing it when he was in my room, and just, I wasn't going to sleep and he wasn't going to settle. So went to the vet today. They gave stuff, drops, cleaner, and wipes to do the edges, medicated wipes. So if anybody's dealt with that before, you know, let me know in the comments, because how do we keep preventing this? He hates anybody touching his ears. When we take him to the groomers, that's what they tell us every time, is that they couldn't clean his ears because he won't let anybody. So I don't know. So this is my piece from my Meta Cross Stitch Stitch Along that Cross Stitch Jess is doing. And it is the Queen of Scissors. And so this is what I have so far, is her bottom half and her teacup. The teacup, I just have to go in and put some white and fix a couple. So I have learned on this fabric, this is 25 count fabric. I didn't use what was called for in the pattern because I didn't want to wait. So I actually had a 25 count little, you know, square of fabric, but we're stitching with one thread over one. So it's tiny. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I don't know. Not gonna work. I feel like I'm really sitting in the dark here. But it's very tiny. But the problem is when I do a cross, the stitch slips into a vertical position under or over whatever fabric thread. So I was trying to pick it out and redo it, and you gotta be very careful with the tension and stuff so as not to pull it, but it just, I was getting fed up. So there are stitches in here where it did that. It went horizontal instead. I just did an X on it, I don't care. It's tiny and you're not gonna tell. And so there's a couple places where I could tell the maroon didn't cover very well because the stitch slipped. So I'm gonna go in there again and do another fill in. So the spaces you see down here are supposed to be white. So I will go in, and there's a little bit here and a little bit here because that's part of the design. But there's some little dots up here that are annoying me that I'm gonna fix, so yay. But yeah, that's Queen of Scissors. This is what it looks like. So very excited. If you want, so meta cross stitch just means you're stitching about stitching. So scissors was the kind of theme of the thing. So I found Queen of Scissors. I really liked her, and she's gonna end up small. I did make a thread bed, or no, I did order thread beds from Sherry So Sweet as well. So she's got a loop in there. So I'm guessing you could hook your floss ring on there, and then a little spot for your needle, which is why I decided to do those in mine. And I'm gonna take my pinking shears and make that a little nicer. But she's got like the plastic snaps. But I'm just looking at hers and getting ideas on how to make mine better. She actually sews up the corner too, so she gets up here, does the corner, and then goes across. So we'll see how it goes. But Sherry So Sweet. All right, so that's that. Let me put that back in here. And she's got these little charms on there. I think I'm gonna get look up some Jane Austen keychains and stuff and maybe put them on there. We'll see. My other bag has my project I'm still working on for the Jane Austen class and a midi embroidery class. So, yeah, I've been keeping those in here with a nice pair of scissors. So we'll get to it eventually. So many things. So many things. Okay. That's everything in that bag. When I bought the Queen of Scissors pattern, I also bought a couple others from that same designer, which was Happy Mood Point, which is Studio HM on Instagram. I bought Rustic Harmony, so another lady with the lamb and the alphabet and stuff. And then I bought a St. Patrick's Day Quaker. I think that's super pretty. So, oh, there's another one. Oh, there's cool. So they also had a Quaker that was a little flamingo. And I've said before that my BSA adult troop is, we have our patrol, our own patrol is a flamingo patch. So I thought this was super cute and I'm gonna stitch that up, or I'll work on it while I'm there at camp. And that's coming in July, so. Alrighty, I got a couple of my Nashville things already. So excited. And this one is from Teresa Kogut, and My Heart is Fed. So very happy. And I have decided, I bought a pattern from, did I write down who it was? It's a sampler called We Love Dogs, and I have now forgotten where it's from. I only printed off one page because they have a dog here. They have a whole bunch of dogs, but I'm gonna replace this cat with a dog. But I love this pattern because I love, it's about stitching, which is again a meta cross stitch, but she's plus size, and you know, I like a good plus size girl, having or am one myself, so that's awesome. Good pattern, color. I hate that it's split onto pages, but it is ginormous in here, so you can definitely see. So I do give her props for that. And then the information's in the back. So, and then she has the, I guess she does like a watercolor painting before it gives her inspiration on patterns to make. So, she's a great designer. I like her a lot. So that is My Heart is Fed. For my buddy that's at camp with me, Lynn, I got this. It's a kit from JBW Designs, a Sweet Springtime Songbird. So I want to make this for her because she's always bird watching, and it has everything you need in it, including a little bird charm. So hopefully I can get that done before I go. And then the other thing I got, which was from Little Robin Designs. So all of these were from Farmer's Attic, because I ordered a lot from Annabelle's. So Farmer's Attic is who I ordered this from on Etsy. And this is Little Robin Designs. I am bummed that it's in black and white. I have a hard time seeing the differences. I need a chart that's both symbols and colors. I once had a chart that was all colors, and it was a fern, and there were so many types of green that it really messed with me trying to get all the green in there. So that was hard, but this also messes with me. So I'm gonna have to really, I don't know, figure that out. Anybody have an idea? Do you highlight as you go? Do you highlight first so you know what you're stitching on? You know, any suggestions on taking on a project like that would be great. But she does make it, it's a little booklet, and then she's got a little spot that says stitching notes, so that's sweet. Little Robin Designs, and then all the information in the front there. So, project bags, because that's what we were really talking, but I'm just kind of going in line of what's stacked. I just got this one in, and this was from Catherine Maples as well, and this one is my nerdy self. It's Lord of the Rings, y'all. It's Lord of the Rings. Look at that. On the back, it's the Shire. It's the Hobbit doors. And on the inner part, it's the J.R.R. Tolkien. And then there is the charm, is his initials as well. And then there's a thread bed inside of a different material with one of those plastic snaps that always elude me how they open. Oh, that one's a tough one. She puts her little tag in there, but she's got a piece of felt again. She did sew down the middle. So, thread bed. It's a tough snap. I'm glad I have nails, but every once in a while I cut my nails, so that's going to be a problem when that happens. Trying to get in there and yeah. This one, these snaps, they come with a little gun on Amazon that is like a grommet or an eyelet or something. So it pokes through the fabric and sets it on each side. So it's less likely to kind of tear out, but it's very difficult. So that's my only criticism on that. But this is so pretty. So pretty. I have no idea. I don't have a project to go in there yet. Might just be something fun or a bookmark project or something. That could be home of my bookmarks. That'll be cute. All right, so I have Betty Home Decor. It's an Etsy shop, and I have several from her. So I like this one because of the birds and the flowers. It's just pretty. And hers are quilted. No, they're not quilted themselves, but they've got batting in them. But it's not actually sewn down the middle or anything to keep it together. And then she didn't do any charms on there, but I probably will put some on there. And she has a bigger zip on hers than my old-fashioned ones. So, yeah, they're nice. They're nice and puffy. So I have that one. I bought a goose one from her as well, because it's geese. You know, I kind of want to go and stitch a butter knife in the mouth or the beak of every single goose on here, because that's hysterical. My son's patrol for the longest time, that was their mascot, was a goose with the butter knife. It's a meme or something, so you have to look it up. And then she has a thread bed. It's definitely thick, and it has Velcro and a little tab, so I was studying how to do that. And then she is the one who made me think to put a vinyl pocket, but she only did felt on half of it. So she used another piece of the fabric underneath the pocket, which I wouldn't have bothered with. I think it's fine to do the soft felt or batting or whatever this is all the way across. And then her little needle holder is a little heart stitched down the middle. So very cute. But the Velcro would be easy too. And you do that after the fact, because it looks like in quilting, she stitched it with the whole thing this way, and then she took it and folded it over and then stitched again, and then made sure the Velcro was on the other side. So I think that would be easy to undertake. All right, my daughter's gonna be home soon, so that might happen. And then this one is from Stitch and Button, which I ordered 2 from her. One was, and she's on Facebook as a group. I ordered 2. One was an Eagles football team one, and I gave that to my friend Jen, because I gave her at Christmas, I set her up for stitching one of the Prairie Schooler Santas. She loves Santas. And so when I saw the Eagles bag, I'm like, oh, I have to get that for her. So the other one I ordered from her was a snowy snowflake one. So the back is this nice And it has a glitter in it. I don't know if it's catching. I don't think it is. It's got glitter in the fabric. And then on the other side, this is also fabric with glitter in it. And then she put a little charm on there. So, very cute. And then her tag is just a sticker on the vinyl. But yeah, I think it's a really nice one. It's got a stiffer interfacing in there. Yeah, I think it's just a regular interfacing. And her vinyl is thicker. Oh, my app just said that my daughter arrived home. So she'll be walking in a minute.
What's your daughter's name?
My watch just wanted to listen in on that conversation too. And so it wanted to know her name. Nope. So another thing I wanted to share, I just got these in the mail today. I haven't even opened them yet. One is my Nashville stuff from Primrose Cottage. Ordered twice from them, I believe, so I don't know if they've combined it or not. So we'll see. And then the other one is from 805 Stitcher. Hang on a minute. Oh, my door needs to be new battery. Hey, I'm filming right now. Just thought I'd let you know. All right, so this other one, it's another bag from 805 Stitcher. I was told this from another person that I watched on FlossTube. Who recommended it eludes me right now. But whenever I see project bags recommended from different people, I like to go check them out and see what they actually look like and stuff. So I haven't opened this one up yet. Oh, I think it was Pam and Steph who mentioned 805 Stitcher. So, oh, this is pretty. All right, so this is a Paris one. So here's the back fabric. You can see there's part of the Eiffel Tower up there, Montclair and Arc de Triomphe. That's Notre Dame. That's the top of the Eiffel Tower, so I've got it in two pieces, which is funny. Yeah, so on the front is a nice floral pattern and a thank you. So 805 Stitcher. Oh, and the charm is a Eiffel Tower. So cute. So let me see. There's a thank you card in here. Did I only order one from her? I guess I only did. It says, Jess, thank you so much for purchasing my bags. I hope you enjoy them and they get lots of use. Happy stitching. There's only one in there. But Paris is awesome. Oh, there's a button in here too. Oh, it's a needle minder. And it says Paris. Check it out. So it looks like it's part of the fabric. And she made a needle minder. Is it part of the fabric? Do I see the word Paris anywhere on here? It's gotta be. I don't. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So it matches right here. So that's cute. Thank you. I'll put that all in the description as well. But that's very pretty. And I love Paris. I've been there 3 times in my life. And I would go again any day. So, but yeah, that's that one. I forget when I ordered these because they're not always already made up. They're made to once they get the order, so it takes a little bit of time. And yeah, so I forgot I ordered them because it took a little bit of time. Alrighty. This is the Primrose stitching, or Primrose Cottage stitching. Okay. I have opened it up. And there's also a St. Patrick's Day thing in here because I made the mistake of doing my pre-orders with another order on there, and they weren't going to send it to me because I didn't have the pre-orders yet. So I was very bummed because I really wanted to stitch this one earlier. So it is their St. Patrick's Day Quaker. Very cute. And I had ordered the floss kit and finishing kit. And also the potato. It's so funny. They used potato 25 count Zweigart Lugano. So there's a whole fat quarter on there, which I don't need that much. But I'm going to have lots extra for other projects. So awesome, awesome. So I guess I'll be working on that at some point when I'm in the mood. Next year probably. Because today is St. Patrick's Day. So, and yay, my stuff from them came in. So April, Lindy Stitches, the Dodo. So I've been collecting all of these patterns and I'm gonna do them. Going to do them, yes. Appalachian Strong. I'm gonna make this for my mother-in-law. She loves everything national parks and outdoors. Wants to get on the Appalachian Trail as much as possible. She's read Grandma Gatewood's story. I think it's Gatewood. So she's inspired to be a grandma who goes and walks the trail. We know she's not going to walk all 2,000 plus miles of it, but I want to start trying to get to each state it touches and go and be on the trail, even if it's just a couple miles. So that way she gets the experience of the trail without having to stay on the trail. My daughter has also said that she would go camping with her. They could hike, you know, and stay overnight and kind of thing. So my daughter loves that stuff too. Let's see. Oh, Ardith Designs, the Blue Jay and Persimmons. I love the color combinations of the orange persimmons, the teal background, and the blue bird. I have a crab in this series. It's a Chesapeake Bay Treasure Series, number 6. So I have the crab as well, which is perfect. I don't like all of the designs, but the crab is very much a Maryland thing. And this bird, I love birds. So this was fun to have. Erin Elizabeth, the lemon tier. So I love tiered trays, and I have a lemon tiered tray, or like it's a shelf. It stands about 5 feet tall from Hobby Lobby. So this will go on a tiered tray. It's like very meta, right? It's a tiered tray about a tiered tray. And then also Erin Elizabeth Home. So this is a chunky block, and I thought that would be cute to do it up the way she did it. And go on there as well. Also from her, which I don't think this was, I'm dropping stuff. This was not a pre-order, I don't think. The Spring Bunny, well, because I think the tree was a pre-order. I think this came out last year. But I have this wooden piece and I want to do different designs to fit on it. So if I put a magnet and swap them out, I think that would be really cool. So I bought the tree as well this year from the pre-orders. So, oh, and last one is another Teresa Kogut one. And it is, oh, I have like a leaning tower of stuff next to me that I'm hoping won't fall over. So, fingers crossed. This one's Coco's Garden. I love how they finished it. I think that would be really cool if I could finish it in a similar style. And then another, I mean, great color pattern. I just love this. I just want paper like that for using for collage paper and stuff. So yeah, it's a great little book. One of her finishing instructions can be found on her website. So when I get done with the piece, I can go and follow the instructions for making this guy. Or I might have my friend who finishes things send her that information and have her do it, so I don't mess it up. So, alrighty. The only other thing I have, and I don't know if you're interested in or not, is some stuff I got from Joann's. They had all their nursery fabrics on sale. My mom can't use her sewing machine anymore. Her eyesight, mixed with other things, it's a little harder for her to sew stuff. So I am taking over the baby blanket making job in my family. So when there's a baby shower, there's a flannel blanket that is just like what my mom used to make. So I bought a ton of fabrics, so that way I would have stuff ready no matter what. I was actually thinking of sewing up a bunch of these and bringing them home to Michigan so my mom can keep them in the closet for whenever she wants to give out baby blankets. So I bought some really cool fabrics and I'm going to show them to you. There's a 2-yard minimum on any of the blankets, so I've got plenty to make. This one is one of my favorite ones. I kind of want it for myself. It's very pretty. Very Nordic, it's a Nordic winter one. So it might be a baby blanket. It might just be because I like it and don't know what I'm going to do with it. This one has a wizarding kind of thing. Kind of wish my nephew was going to have more kids. They're not. But if they were going to have more kids, this would have been one of them. I made a Star Wars one for the oldest kid. And I didn't get to make one for the second kid. I figured he'd get to use the Star Wars. It was the first and last time I'm ever going to use minky fabric, because minky fabric I didn't realize would stretch, whereas flannel doesn't really have a lot of stretch to it. So yeah, that minky gave me some troubles, let me tell you. But yeah, it's a very wizarding kind of fabric, so I thought that was fun. This one's just got moons and clouds. So, very nice. And this one again has clouds. It's gray with stars all over it. So, this one, they also had some seasonal for 40% off. So, I just got myself a bunch of this. It's got a shine in it, a glitter. It's hard to see. But I thought that would be good for finishing up Valentine's Day stuff. And since I'm doing quilt projects and whatnot in the future, this is good to cut up and use for any like table runners or mats or anything like that. Sorry, I keep reaching forward, but that's where my stack is. This one, nice rainbow, pretty fabric. This one is not flannel. It was in the nursery section, and yeah, it can be very nursery, but I like it for quilting. I might make a project bag out of it. I think it's fun, like chalk in places and drawings and stuff. So I really like this fabric, and it was 40% as well. Got a Halloween for 40% off. So just a basic one that can be the backing of a lot of Halloween stuff or Halloween quilt type project. Another flannel, very simple floral. And then this flannel, rainbow with moons all over it, very basic. And then last one are animals. Which it's funny because like a bear makes me think of forest animals, but then the rest are like jungle animals. Or not jungle, safari. No, there's a fox too. So like bear, fox, and then giraffe, zebra, and elephant. They kind of don't go together, but it's cute. It's green, it's childlike, so it'll make a good fabric. But yeah, so I have a stack of flannels to last me many babies in the future. My own grandkids, I'll probably still have these around when I have grandkids too. So you know, it is what it is. It's awesome to get some deals at Joann's. I'll probably go later in this week to see what they've got available again. I keep an eye on it. The rest of the store is pretty picked over. There's still some yarn at this one in Annapolis, but their fabric was only, regular cotton fabric was only 20% off. And that's, with a 2-yard minimum, that's not worth it. They're making good money off of that. No. I mean, I want them to be able to liquidate and pay their bills, but, you know, I want some deals. So I missed out on all the floss. That, within a 2-week time period, they hadn't even announced when I went first time that they were closing this location yet. And they didn't have anything on sale. And then 2 weeks later, all the embroidery floss was gone. All the notions for it was gone. It was crazy. So the best I'm going to be able to do now is to keep an eye on the fabric and try and swoop in and get some good deals on, you know, stocking up on things that I could possibly use in the future. So they do have tons of fleece. So, you know, I might bring my daughter over there and she can find stuff to make herself a knot quilt or something, or knot blanket, that sort of thing. But other than that, I might hit the flannels again. The flannels were 40% this week. There was a lot of solid color flannels, which I should have matched all that, but I only have so much patience when I go into a store. And everybody kept offering me a cart or a basket, and I was trying not to get anything else more than I could carry. And I was like, thank you for that, but if I get a cart, I'll spend more money. And I didn't want to do that. So I might go back in and find some solids to go with these, and or get some other flannels. Maybe make a rag quilt out of flannel. Those are nice with the edges frayed, because flannel frays really nice and soft. So it would be cool to buy all the different plaids and put together a rag quilt. So alrighty, that's all I've got to share with you today. I'm looking around to see if I got anything here in my little corner. This is a different spot. I think I'm gonna film here from now on. I'm gonna start putting my framed cross stitch up behind me, but I think my corner is a more comfy place and not as barren. You can see if I tilt you up a little bit, I've got some, you know, decor and stuff on the wall, but I'm gonna really start adding my cross stitch around me and stuff, because this is my little spot and it's comfy for me, so I like that. And yeah, the table is more organized, but I've been sewing over there, so it's a bit of a mess. And I had moved this camera holder, the phone holder, over here because I had a meeting the other day, and I don't want to use my phone and hold it for the whole time, because that's no fun at all. But yeah, oh, check this out. This is something, my Ort jar. Does everybody have an Ort jar? You keep all your Orts. Some people use it for stuffing inside of pillows and things when you do finishing. Others make ornaments and hang on the tree just full of their yarns. I saw somebody who took fabric scraps, the really thin ones, and I'm saving those too. The quilt shop has big jars full of scraps. I think it's kind of cool. But I've seen people, you put down all your leftover yarn and floss, and you put netting over it, and you sew back and forth so you can still see all the craziness, but it's kind of like this cool fibery art type thing. And that might be what all my Orts go into. And it's not just mine. I took this with me to the EGA retreat, and other people were putting their Orts in there. When I finish a kit, and I know I'm not going to save that thread anymore because it came with the kit, it might not be DMC. Like this, all this blue in here was from a Star Wars thing I did. So, and then anytime my fabric frays and I have threads from fabric, I throw it in there too. But yeah, lovely jar to kind of mark the passage of time kind of thing. So yeah, got nothing else going on this week. Well, it's the start of the week. My daughter's getting ready to go to Orlando next week. So we got to get her ready for that. hopefully the dog's ears, we can deal with that. I put him in the cone this morning so he'd stop flapping his head, and it pretty much shut him down completely. He sat there for ever, not moving, never laying down, just sat there. And eventually he was shaking, like an hour later, and he was shaking. And I was like, okay, we'll give you a break. So his sore on his ear has stopped bleeding. I just don't want him to break the scab. So that's why I kept him in the cone. And he'll get more cone time. He doesn't think so, but we're gonna clean his ears tonight. I need another person or two. He's a 100-pound dog. He weighed in at 101 today. So, and he hates his ears being messed with. Probably because of this, who knows? Or maybe he's always been like that. He's coming up on 2 years old. So yeah, we all have to get in there and put the medicine in his ear, clean out his ear, and then massage it. And then I have medicated wipes that go around the edge of the ear so we can clean the outer edges. So wish us luck. Hopefully it all works out. But yeah, just gotta get some stitching done. My quilt's coming along. I have 2 rows done and stitched together. So I have a total of 6 rows. It's a 6x6 block quilt. So I have to work on that. I learned yesterday how to make bias tape or bias binding or whatever. So I got to decide, do I want to do bias or do I want to do straight binding on it? I don't know. So I know that professional quilters will say bias, but I'm not gonna enter this into a fair or anything like that. It's just to learn. It's not a perfect quilt, but it'll be one that I made, so it's awesome. I'm not a picky person on measurements. That's why I like cross stitch, because I don't have to be. It's all counted for me. It's all planned for me. There's no math involved except finding where to start, which I'm a center starter, so that's very easy. And as long as I got the fabric the size they said, or use a conversion calculator to figure it out, I'm good. But this quilting stuff, it can be very nerve-wracking to, especially now that I'm sewing the different rows together, they're not lining up exactly. And that's because I'm not very exact on, so I mean, I don't have a walking foot either. So keeping everything straight is difficult and everything. So maybe it'll make a big change when I change the foot on the machine. Who knows? Oh, sorry. But I'm going to go ahead and go. This is just like a real conversation. I have a hard time ending conversations too when I'm chatting with somebody. We both say we got to go, and then I bring up another subject or they bring up another subject, and we just keep going. So that's what this is right now. So yay. But yeah, I'll check in next week, and maybe I'll have some more done on my quilt. I was giving my neck a rest because I spent Saturday making the quilt, or the project bags. So I was bent over the sewing machine, and then I spent yesterday at the sewing machine at class, at my quilt shop, Cottonwood, in the park. And yeah, my neck is a little out of sorts, so I have to rest it before I can get behind the sewing machine again. And I have another project bag to finish because I cut all the pieces for the other Americana one. So yay. Alrighty, I will sign off and see you guys next week. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I hope you get all the luck in the world. All right, bye.